What's happening, everyone? It is a Monday night, 10 o'clock. We are here. We are now WLFE-DB Radio. Tonight, we have my friend Christina Westerveld, Interstate Paranormal Research. Without further ado, let's bring her in.
Hi.
What's happening, my friend? All right. So we got a long list tonight about your biography and stuff. So let's just start right from the top. Tell us who you are, my friend.
I am Christina Westervelt. I am one of the investigators at Interstate Paranormal Research. We are based out of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware currently. We also have some guest team members out in South Carolina that come visit. And would you like the whole spiel or?
Absolutely, all of it. It's all about you tonight, my friend.
All right. Well, we do a lot of really cool locations. I prefer doing like the big jails and the asylums and stuff like that. But we've had clients reach out. We did an old Clarion hotel out in Du Bois, Pennsylvania. They actually reached out to us via our webpage, which is interstateparanormal.org. And they've been doing renovations and stuff. We went out there out in January. We were the first team to go out there. And they've been having, typical renovations. Stuff starts ramping up. The manager actually lives there, so she's got to deal with it every day. We went out there in January. Went out there again this past May or June. Maybe June. I don't know. All the months kind of
run together.
Yeah. But so we do help residential and business cases, but I don't know. There's something about those creepy, abandoned, big old jails and like Pennhurst. Pennhurst is like my favorite location. So
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start from the top. Childhood. We talked about within the biography of you. You like horror from a kid. Let's hear where you started, Christina.
I remember sitting around 6 years old with my dad watching Hellraiser.
Love it.
My dad took me to see Dusk Till Dawn when I don't know how old I was. I was probably around that old. And I remember there were like titties everywhere. And my dad's like, oh my God, don't look. But yeah, so I was like raised on horror movies and stuff like that. And it's funny because my dad's like, I don't know why you turned out the way you did. I'm like, it's because of you, Dad.
Hey, it's all good. My friend, one of my first movies with my mom was like Night of the Living Dead and then Pet Sematary. I remember them. So we're horror kids right from the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Genevieve's saying right there, Hellraiser. So yeah, it's awesome.
Did you see the newest Hellraiser? I mean, it was pretty cool. I was not disappointed.
No, I didn't see it. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't even know there was one. I don't even watch friggin' TV anymore.
I don't either. It came out like a year or two ago. I forgot the name of it, but it was pretty cool. I wasn't disappointed.
Before we get into like all these investigations and how you started and all that, we're talking about movies right now. What's your favorite horror movie? Like all together. You got to pick one.
I mean, it's really tough. Like, I don't really have a favorite. You know what? I'm going to tell you what my favorite horror movie is. You're going to laugh. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Hey, I'm not going to laugh at that. That's actually kind of cool. It's nostalgic at the same time, man.
Yes, it's nostalgic and super cheese. And
cheese as shit, man. It's cheese as shit.
Yeah, but I have a soft spot for like those cool classics.
Now, I like things like Trick or Treat. You ever seen that one?
Yes, that was really good. I like Trick or Treat.
Who hasn't seen that shit? And like I said, like Pet Sematary is probably one of my favorite horrors going. Yeah. Like
I had mixed feelings about the remake. It was good, like up until the end, and I was like,
sucked.
Yeah,
that's my opinion, though. It sucked. You can't mess with an original.
But that's all they do these days is mess with originals. Right. Unfortunately,
aren't they making a new Candyman? I know this is not a movie, a shit show, but
Candyman. I love Tony Todd. I really do. I used to hang out with him. I would frequent
No.
the Monster Mania convention out in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Hmm.
I'd go like twice a year every year. My friend Jess used to get the big suites, and we'd throw like big parties. And we had friends that were like the handlers for some of the guests.
There's Cindy.
Hi,
Go
Cindy.
Hi, Christina.
So we had like Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery before anyone knew who Norman Reedus was, and he was super cool. He came to one of our parties, and Tony Todd came a bunch of times, and we found him like smoking pot in the stairwell.
Nice.
But yeah, no, Tony Todd's a really nice guy. His handler like didn't want him taking pictures with us or anything because it was like off hours. But like as soon as the guy walked away, he's like, "Come here, come here."
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
I love it. That's cool celebrity stories.
yeah.
All right. So within what I read about you and getting to know you a little bit, Ghost Hunters, you and your father used to watch Ghost Hunters, kind of introduced you to the paranormal world. Explain this whole like process of Christina becoming a paranormal investigator.
So yeah, I grew up, like I said, watching horror movies. Me and my father used to go to like all the haunted houses every year that, you know, people jump out at you and try to scare you. So now I'm at the point in life where I'm in the front of the group. Hi, Ted.
Yeah.
I'm always the front person in the group, and I don't have like any like reflex anymore. People jump out and I'm like, but I still love going to them. But yeah, so I grew up, you know, we would watch Ghost Hunters every night. And then like when I was young teens, my dad bought me my K2 meter. We would go to Salem, Massachusetts every year and do their little ghost tours. And I remember we actually found, which is cool because so in Salem, you know, they have like all the like touristy stuff, but there was actually the real location of the witch hangings that was never really marked until recently. And me and my friend Megan went. There's a little Walgreens on the outskirts of town in Salem, and right behind them in the woods in the parking lot is where like the actual location is. And I just saw they posted an article not too long ago that they actually have like a little memorial there now. And I messaged my friend Megan, and I was like, dude, I'm like, it really was the real location. We weren't just taking pictures like a bunch of weirdos in the random parking lot. But yeah, so you know, I did like a lot of mini stuff. And you know, when I was younger and used to stay up till 4 a.m. on a regular basis, you couldn't pay to go to these locations. Like it wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I wish I could get here and I wish I could get there. And then in like my early 20s, they started like Pennhurst, I noticed, Eastern State, like, and at that point I was like, oh, I'm getting old. I don't want to, I go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night. How am I going to stay up that late? You know? And then, unfortunately, my best friend, Megan, moved to South Carolina a few years ago. And that's when, like over the past year, I was like, you know what? Like, whatever, I want to do this. I'm like, I can sleep when I'm dead. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. That's questionable. But I just said, you know what, whatever, like it's worth it. You know, I'm going to tough it out. And I do, like on my weekdays when I'm working and I'm not doing anything, sure, I'm in bed at like 9:30 at night. But I managed on the investigation nights too. You get like your first wind and then your second wind and then your third wind throughout the night, you know? So, I was fortunate enough. I went on I was on a few different Facebook groups, and I happened to be on like one of the Ghost Hunts USA groups. And I was like, oh, you know, I had done like New Jersey Paranormal. I think it's New Jersey, not New Jersey, New Jersey Ghost Hunter Society. Sorry. They're based out in like Hackettstown. I had joined their little group, and it was like weird. They had their meetings in the like city hall, and everyone was super nice. But like they had meetings every month, and one of their meetings started talking about like Bigfoot and like the chupacabra and shit. And I'm like, all right, you know, that's cool. Like I'm into cryptids, but like it's like not why I'm here.
Not the same, right?
So, I mean, I did a little cemetery hunt out in Hackettstown with them when I was in college. I still have my little New Jersey Ghost Hunter Society member card from like
Right.
80 million years ago. But I kind of stopped doing that with them. And I was like, hey, anyone like want to start a group or something in Jersey? Like, I haven't really found a group that I click with, and this kid, Rich, no idea who he is. He lives about 15 minutes from me. Was like, hey, yeah, like I totally want to start a group. We started, talking on Facebook, this and that, and being super dorks, spending all our money during quarantine, buying
Mhm.
new equipment. And he's like, hey, look, Ghost Hunts USA is doing a public ghost hunt at Mid Orange Correctional Facility. So I was like, all right, like I brought two of my friends and we met him. I thank God I was very fortunate that Rich is not a super creeper, meeting people online these days. Uh,
Right.
and Rich he's like one of my best friends now.
Very
Uh,
cool.
but we did Mid Orange Correctional Facility, and it sucks because it's a public event, and even though it was like my first big event, like I still felt like I was like too cool for the public event. But it was fun, and they gave you some free time at the end of the night that wasn't guided, but like every public event you go to, you're trying to worry. People are walking through and people don't have any paranormal etiquette. You're in the middle of a session and they just start trampling through your shit and you're like,
Right.
but I want to get back to Mid Orange. Unfortunately, you need a $2 million insurance policy.
Insurance plan. Yeah. What the hell?
But that place is really cool. Like I had the A3 building, which is one of the little buildings on the outskirts, and it was on an episode of Ghost Nation. Uh,
Hmm.
and they had a lot of activity in that building, and we also did. I remember I was standing in one of the hallways by myself, and I mean there were people like a little further away, and all of a sudden, like this is like the first time this ever happened to me too. Like I felt like I stuck my finger in like a light socket, like from head to toe, like goosebumps, like hair standing on like my. And then as this is happening, we had heard a knock from upstairs, and my REM pod in front of me starts going crazy.
Right.
And so, okay, so you can psych yourself out, give yourself goosebumps, whatever. But as a being a very skeptical investigator, I, really rely on my equipment to kind of validate my personal experiences. And then when the REM pod went off, right when that was going on, I was like, oh, that might be something. But
Yeah, no, I can feel you. Now, I want your personal opinion on some of this equipment because I'm not an equipment junkie. I personally go to the basics. EVP for me is my way. REM pod, shit like that. I don't know. Like, how do you feel about this stuff? Like the SLX, like it's all questionable still.
well, with every piece of equipment, everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt.
Sure.
Um, I like the REM pods. I don't like how they can be easily manipulated by things. But
Hmm.
when you're doing this long enough, you kind of have an idea of if it was something else. Like when my REM pod starts going crazy and acting like a nut job, I know my battery's dying. One of my team members radio me over and the thing starts going crazy. Yeah, I know it was the radio.
Sure.
So you definitely need to take everything with a grain of salt, to just use it as like an extra tool. I have become really good friends with Daryl Marston, and I've been learning some stuff from him and a few other people, and I've really I consolidated my case of equipment and like really just carry around the essentials.
Sure. No, and I validate what you're saying because when you had mentioned before, like it feels like you stuck your hand in a light socket, like the electricity that goes to your body when you're not the only one in the room, if you know what I'm saying, on that plane, like it just totally makes sense. Like your hair stands, you feel like there's something more. It's like you like a shockwave. So when you said that, like I felt it
Mm-hmm.
because I felt it myself.
Yeah.
So I totally get what you're saying. And the reason I asked the shit with the equipment was the factor that when you said that the shockwave and you rely on the equipment, it's like you validate within your own heart, and then your equipment like balances what you went through. So I agree with you there.
As far as the SLS goes, I unfortunately have never gotten my hands on like one of the good digital dowsing ones.
Hmm.
I don't know how great that one is, but as far as all the Connect ones go, like I've seen them. A team member has one. I I mean, there's like a box, like I think a box is like stacked and it thinks it's a person.
Mm,
I mean, to be honest with you, like I won't put my eggs in one basket with that one.
right. Yeah. No, I've seen it, and I brought it to a graveyard, and there's shit dancing everywhere, and I'm just like, how can I prove any of this shit?
Exactly. Like I try to stay away from stuff that has any possible room for doubt. I honestly, when I go out now, I'll take my REM pod just because I like it.
Hmm.
I have the Mel meter with the REM function with the antenna on it. I like that too because it's like a 3-in-1. Even though I hardly use the temp because it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Uh, but and then I always have my EDI, a recorder. Even though I have one of those like H4n whatever Zoom recorders, one of those really big fancy ones. And we did an event with Brian Kano at Fort Mifflin. He had the paranormal
Mhm.
boot camp, and we're good friends with the people that run the fort. And they asked us to come and run the event with him. And we were talking, me and Brian, and he's like, you could hear a mouse fart from the other side of the room, but I've never caught DVB on this thing. And I'm like, me either,
At some point.
But I mean, I'm not going to go and spend $2,000 on one of those Panasonics that have some like electronic glitch that makes it sound like syllables. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so clear. Can't you hear it? You mean the.
Right. Some of the most like the cheapest, simplest shit is like your best ghost hunting like gear. All right, so check this out. Like I'm not pushing a book or nothing like that. Ted Van Son, who is WLFEDB like owner, he's a paranormal investigator himself. He wrote a book called Think Outside the Paranormal Box. He brings you back to ghost hunting basics. It's an interesting book. I'll send you the link tomorrow. I'll buy it for you personally as a gift. I think it's a good read,
Yeah.
and it actually opened my mind back to when there was no technology given to the original like investigators, and it really just it hit me. And I actually tried some of this shit in a recent investigation I did. Did I get any hits? No, but it was actually it was an open mind that maybe go back to basics. It's really cool. So I'll send you
Absolutely.
that link and I'll buy that shit for you.
I found myself spending too much time staring at my camera screen and I was just missing so much. Um,
Right.
so I've been really trying to veer away from paying so much attention to my equipment and like using like your number one,
Mhm.
piece of equipment, which is like yourself,
Right.
because people be like, oh, did you see that? And I'm like, no, like, what are you talking about?
I know. And when you think about that, did people say, did you see shit? Like, it's like knowing you go into an investigation, you have to have a solid team, at which we're going to get into your team now. You have to have people that are not in there for a ghost hunt, but they're in there for the educational purpose of actually figuring shit out. And
Mhm.
not that it's a cool shit saying to your friends tomorrow, hey, I was on a ghost hunt. Like, we don't do this because it's fun. We do this because we're learning and we are investigators. Like,
Yeah.
what built your team and like what makes you guys strong?
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of variety in our team. We have some empaths, we have some psychics, we have a lot of skeptics like myself. And so we all kind of like checks and balance, ourselves, which is really great. We all have different investigation styles. And, I mean, I love it. You know what I mean? Like I
Sure.
truly like I have like this like crazy connection with some of these locations. Like it's like almost like exhilarating being in like some of these locations. And I'm not gonna lie, that's like my main drive. Like I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy going out with my team and having a good time and being at these locations. The few private client-based investigations we've done have been extremely gratifying. I'm not sensitive, I'm not a psychic, but we're going there and validating. No, I can't tell you exactly what this is. No, I don't know how to get rid of this, but you're not crazy. You are experiencing things. We experience things. And you generally, when you go into a location, you can really get an idea. You get a feel like
Sure.
you walk into somewhere that there's something dark and shady going on. It gives off that vibe when you walk into that place. So sometimes these clients like are just, relieved to know that they're not crazy.
Mhm.
And have something to back up their experiences and have other people experience what they experience. So that was like very gratifying to me. And also, like I said, like I haven't had a lot of visual or personal experiences over the years. Paranormal investigating is like fishing. Sometimes you catch something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you got to sit in one spot for hours before you hear a little knock on the wall, and that's all you get that night. you
Right.
know but it what is going on, like what is it? Is it like I wanna, the more you spend at a location, the more investigations you do, you just get a little more comfortable, a little more familiar, and a little closer to like being able to, like, are we ever going to be able to prove what's really going on?
Well,
Probably not.
you're exactly right, and please correct me if I'm wrong here. This is where the shows tend to give false gratitude to what we do. You're not going to get some an evidence in one night. I mean, sometimes it takes weeks, months. You have to research the individuals. Like you're going into this house. Bill Slevin, who was on my show a few weeks back, he is actually like a counselor. All that type of shit. But he'll actually talk to them for like a weekend to make sure that if they're crazy or not. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to get all the data in before he goes into that investigation.
Yeah.
So Christina, you're completely on point of what you're talking about. I mean, there's just so much that goes in. I mean,
Yeah.
ghost hunting is, I hate to say ghost hunting, it's paranormal investigating, but I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight. You know this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I said, I've done Penhurst maybe like 5 times in the
he likes
last
your tattoos. He
Oh,
said,
thank you. See, I love Halloween. My Halloween tattoos.
that's cool.
My spooky for life tattoo.
Cool.
So I've done Penhurst about 5 times. The first
Mhm.
time, it was crazy. There was some really cool activity. The next few times I was there, the one building, the Mayflower building, the 3rd floor is where I had a lot of so one of the girls that runs Penhurst, or helps out at Penhurst, they have a geoport. Like I said, grain of salt, $2,000 piece of equipment, was happy to play with it. We were up on the 3rd floor of the Mayflower, and we were all standing there, and all of a sudden, my left calf just started tingling, like that electric whatever feeling,
Mhm.
just my left calf on my leg. So I'm like, and like I had never even been like touched before. So I was like, I don't know, my left calf is kind of like tingly and it's a little weird. And Dee from Penhurst was like, well, maybe you're getting touched. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And then we had those little LED cat balls on the floor and the REM pod. And like right after like I started getting touched, the cat balls started lighting up, the REM pod was going off. And all of a sudden over the geoport, it said, clear as day, Christina's leg. And we were like, what? Like I said, Christina's leg over the geoport. But yeah, so we had all that activity that first day I was at Penhurst. The next few times it was kind of dead.
Mhm.
The third floor of the Mayflower, no matter how dead it is, you always get crazy activity up there, in the sense of you're on the one side of the floor and you hear knocks and footsteps and noises from the other side, and then you go to check that out, and then you hear knocks and noises from the other side. Like they kind of like mess with you at Penhurst. Like it seems like it like plays games with you. But so unfortunately my friend flew down from South Carolina, and one of my other best friends came with the team, and it was kind of a dead night in April, and we were back there in May. And I was in the Rockwell Tunnel with my friend Eric, who is in Nesper. He was also on the TV show Ghost Loop, but him and his
I don't
fiance,
know what that is.
yeah. So Eric, I've known him since I was like 13 years old. We used to be mall rats at the Garden State Plaza together, um, when we were delinquents. Um, so we were in the tunnel with Patrick from Penhurst, who's actually going to be coming out with us to Fort Mifflin in a few weeks. And my friend Rich and my other team member, Sarah Lee, come walking down, and we were getting some hits or whatever on the equipment down in the Rockwell Tunnel. But they came down and were like, "Oh, hey guys," and they came to sit down in the tunnel with us. And about a half an hour later, Rich is just sitting there, and he goes, "Ow," and we're like, "What?" Like, and he's like, and he pulls his sweatshirt up, and he's got, I just showed you before the show, he has full top and bottom
Yeah.
teeth print in his arm. So we had all these days at Penhurst that nothing was going on, and then 2 a.m. The night was pretty dead before that. Like, I was kind of disappointed. Like, it was the first time Eric had been at Penhurst, and I've been telling him for years he needs to come, and it was not impressing. And all of a sudden, Rich, and it's so funny because Rich was like, "Who bit me?" We're so, like, I don't know. None of us get really spooked like that. So you go every time, same location will show you something different.
It's the truth. It really is. And it's like I said, like you may not get one thing one time, but then you get some different shit the next time. It's like intense. It's an
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick's been working in Penhurst for a while now, and he's never seen someone get bit until that night. He was standing there like,
Now, let me. I don't know who Patrick is. Apparently he's part of your team and stuff like that. How did he feel about that? Like knowing that there's something more. Like, of course he went into it knowing something more, but like the attacking, like with a bite. Like, how did he feel in his guts? Did he talk about that?
So Patrick, he's actually he's an employee of Penhurst. He's one of their investigators.
Okay.
He did come out with us to Booby's Brewery out in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania a few months ago in May, and he is going to be doing a few more investigations with us to kind of like trying out where everyone's getting a feel for him, see if he works well with the team. But he was just like, like he's never seen it. Like, if people get scratched here and there, and like, yeah, people get scratched. I mean, yes, people do get scratched, but you never know. You scratched yourself on something. It's always a thing. But those are freaking teeth marks.
I saw the picture. No, it was clearly teeth marks.
So it was like he was absolutely amazed at the situation, and he was like, "Oh God, I need to come investigate with you guys." Like he was. It was cool. It was a beginning of a good friendship that we got going on. So.
Don't forget me to ask this question. What was your first haunted experience? But now that we're talking about a team, I want to know how paranormal or the Interstate Paranormal Research came about. Like, tell me how this all started and all of the members and what do you guys got going on?
So IPR was around for a few years before I joined. They were kind of a merge of a couple different teams. Tony, Anthony Groth, don't make fun of me, Tony, for saying your last name wrong. Grothus. He's kind of like our head guy. He does a lot of the footwork, getting into these awesome locations that we get into. And damn, the lights just went.
I just saw that. What the hell?
No, hold on a second. It's
all right. Yeah, you're good.
They're on
What is it, like a clap on? Come on.
I'm pretty sure they're on a timer. Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Everyone who's tuning in right now, send everyone a real talk with Dom. Interact with Christina with Interstate Paranormal. Come check us out for sure. You might be on Dominic Sanacero because I shared it out there, or WLFEDB. Actually, go check it out there. But Come interact. Come ask questions.
Yeah, come ask some
There
questions.
she is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know it turns on like at like sundown. So,
Oh, good.
so I don't know. I didn't set.
Almost like you should have just played that off like, oh my god.
Oh my god, guys, it's demon.
Anyway, let's talk about the team more.
So anyways, they had this, they had the team going. And I had met Tony on one of the Facebook groups. And, we were chatting. I introduced him to my friend Rich, and he's like, oh, you guys should come. We're hosting an event at Fort Mifflin in, I think it was September or August last year.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Rich went with a couple of my friends from my team, North Jersey Paranormal Research that I had started. And, it was like a public event. But we ended up hanging out with everyone in IPR. And after midnight, when the public event ended, we stayed later with them because they were allowed to stay for a few more hours because they're friends with the people at the fort. So, that was kind of like all uphill from there. We all got along really well. Tony started inviting us to events. I honestly don't know a lot of the history before I joined the team.
That's fine. Yeah.
But I've officially was like a team member in January, but we did a few more events with them before then. And actually, if anyone's watching in the area, July 24th, we're going to be hosting Interstate Paranormal Research. We're hosting another event at Fort Mifflin. Cool. We just did a giveaway on our Facebook group page for 2 tickets. So we had a winner for that. We are doing a private event in September with just our team. And we are going to be giving away 2 tickets for people to come visit also on our Facebook group page. Probably in like another month, we'll start doing that giveaway. But yes, cool. So July 24th, I think there's still tickets open, and we'll be there until midnight, and then we'll be there probably later than that. But the public event's till midnight.
Well, looks like you got a new fan. This is cool. I'm glad you're here tonight, my friend. No doubt that Christina is on point. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Like, share, and follow her. Go check her out for sure. She's got a lot to offer. So does the entire group. All right.
Oh, yeah. So everyone on my team is awesome.
What's that?
I said everyone on my team is really awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what? All right. So talking about the team more. What's everyone's job, and what makes everyone different from just like a paranormal investigator? You said that there's mediums and stuff. I'm sure you got like a tech guy. Like what's the group size and who does what?
Exactly the group size. I'm not sure. I think there's like 13 or 14 of us. We have a amazing turnout for most of our events. Everyone's extremely dedicated. We almost have, everyone's got lives and work and this and that. So once in a while, one or two people can't make it. But for the most part, everyone turns out to all of our events. We try to do at least 1 or 2 investigations a month. Mm-hmm. Especially right now, it slows down a little during the winter. We try to only hit up the indoor heated locations then, because I'm a wimp and can't handle the cold. But it's we kind of do stuff a little different. Like, we're kind of like a democracy. Yes, Tony really does take the lead as far as organizing things for us and everything. But we, any major decisions on the team, it's a group vote, Yeah. I'm trying to think. We don't have you're the tech guy. We don't have even though Rich kind of took over as the tech guy because everyone else is not very technologically advanced and Rich is pretty good. But Patrick does like IT and crazy stuff for a living. So we're hoping that he ends up working out with the team because he will be a major asset. Because, I'm Rich, I can't get my hot shoe on my camera to work, So... But we all are pretty much equals on the team.
Cool.
I have a lot of equipment. Rich has a lot of equipment. Tony has like enough to fill his entire Durango up with equipment. Like his apps, like 80 million K2 meters and cameras and DVR systems and like everything you see on TV. We have plus some. Like it's kind of. I mean, it's probably a little overkill, but that's how we roll. Or that's how Tony rolls. He needs to invest in a U-Haul or something because it's getting a little out of control. But we all contribute, and not everyone has the money for their own equipment or goes out, so we have plenty to go around.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about the DVR. I don't it's a lot of it's a lot of setup, and it's a lot of breakdown, and I mean it's fun, if you're taking a break, because we don't force anyone to sit there all night in front of the DVR system. It's kind of like it's there if we need it, and you want to take a break back in home base, we'll sit there and veg and zone out and stare at the watch the other team members.
Yeah.
So I mean it's cool, but yeah, no, everyone on the team's great. Like I said, we have, some people that are, mediums, and, they all know I'm extremely skeptic and stuff like that, and they don't take offense to it, and I don't mean I'm not saying that I think anyone's full of shit, because I know they're not. But that's just how my brain works. Like, but it's cool, they're definitely like an extra tool.
Mm-hmm.
I
told you I'm going to get you in touch with Kenny Biddle, because the minute you said that, I'm like, this is a Kenny Biddle material right here.
Oh yeah,
it's good to get you on his show too. He's amazing. Skeptical Help Bar, by the way. Yeah. On top of that, I wanted to say, like, with all your pictures, when I see all you guys going to investigations, like, you guys are like, it doesn't seem, the way I put it as jobs, like tech guy and shit like that, but really, like, you guys are all hugging and hanging out. You guys just seem like one big ass family.
We call it our power fam.
Yeah. See, that's what's up. I mean, you guys are comfortable with each other, and you have to, like, doing shit like this, you have to, like, literally trust each other, because not only, like, within a dangerous situation, as far as these facilities that you guys go in, like jailhouses and asylums, that there could be like a dangerous structure, you got to like get someone to get you out of a situation, but you have to trust that they're not bullshitting evidence.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah, no, everyone on our team is extremely professional. I mean, we're all like clowns. Oh, there's Christina Rivera. That's one of my heterosexual life partners on my team, Christina.
Very cool.
I don't know. I've known her for like a year, and like she's one of my best friends.
Very cool.
But yeah, like I said, it's like we're one big power fam. We all talk on the phone like every day, like a bunch of losers. And I wouldn't have it any other way. We all share the same love for the paranormal, and I got a bunch of people that are just as crazy as me, sitting in the dark talking to walls.
So
it's nice not to be alone with that,
No, that's really awesome. I'm glad you guys do it too. And like I said, like, when I come there, I really want to meet all of you guys, because you guys seem like a solid structure, and you just have your shit together, which is cool.
Absolutely. You are more than welcome to come hang out. And, a lot of us, I know Christina, Anthony, a bunch of us will be over at the Gettysburg Bash.
Sid Ratter, brother. What's that?
But if you're ever up in the area, when we're doing an investigation, just give me a heads up and let me know. And as long as it's not one of those, because it's tough, we're a pretty big team. So going into little tiny locations with a shit ton of people
sucks.
It sucks. It does. But we usually do, I was talking to them about, all right, well, if we get into Whitehall Mansion or something like that, we can always take turns, especially if it's nice out, we can set up home base outside and just hang out there, and take turns in the groups. Cause we're trying, what is this? There's a lot of setup and tear down with DVR. Oh yeah.
Plus, having someone sit there all night monitor. Hey, my friend, I'll tell you this. I don't have the like. Listen, I brought up Tech Guy because I go in there and do the raw shit. I don't have the patience to sit back and listen. I just don't. I just don't. So someone goes back and listen, and that's probably my fault because they're probably missing shit that I already heard.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the patience to do it.
No, I mean we don't. And like I said, we don't have someone sit at the DVR all night, like because everyone's there to investigate, and we all paid money most of the time to go to these locations, and no one wants to sit there all night and do that. So we all take turns, we all take breaks, we all sit there and kind of look over everything. We're in the process of getting a our own like server. So because like we're just trying to get into the year 2021 as far as file sharing and stuff like that right now. But Anthony's got like 80 million drop cams and all this shit, so it's gonna be like 30 hours worth of crap that we need to all review. Wow. Plus I have my body cam and my own handheld, and so
I like that. You guys do the GoPros like a body cam too, like right? Like that?
Yeah, it's not a GoPro. It's actually Daryl from Ghost Hunters actually recommended one of those ones off of Amazon that he uses, so I picked it up, and it works. It works really well. It's not so great during the summer when you don't have anything to clip it on, but I'm gonna get like a lanyard or something and try it out and see if it works.
Like a friggin' bulletproof vest you gotta get and just strap it to
Tony, oh my God, Tony has like this like man bra thing that he puts this on, and we always make fun of him.
Man, that's a cam up though. I get it. No, I get it. I see it all strapped on him and shit.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to what was your first paranormal experience? The one that you remember, the one that made you want to do this.
Honestly, and like I know I'm like way different from a lot of investigators out there, but I didn't have my real first like paranormal experience till I was at Mid-Orange last summer or spring.
Really?
I've been searching, you know what I mean? Like and it seems like when you're looking, you never find, you know what I mean? I'm not a sensitive. Like my dad is very sensitive ever since I was a kid. You drive by certain graveyards, the hair would stand up on his arms. My little cousins would see like their dead relatives at the foot of their bed. Like my family, there's a lot of sensitive people in my family. And I was like, shit, I'm like, this crap skipped me.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit,
It might not have skipped you. You might just got to meditate in that shit and just learn it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I do what I can do. Like I said, I rely a lot on my equipment for these things because of that. I really never had, I've had little things happen over the years, things you catch out of the corner of your eye and this and that, but being skeptical, I'm like, it's probably this, it's probably that. It was never anything that I could prove. And like I'm not like a religious person. I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school up to 8th grade. It kind of ripped the religion out of me. But like I refuse to believe in something that like might be bullshit. You know what I mean? So like over the years, like I might have had some sort of paranormal experience and I just kind of wrote it off as something.
You probably did, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but like I've always been so enamored with it, that like I finally got out there and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna experience something, and I definitely finally did. Even like those weird little things that happened at Pennhurst, those weird little things that happened at Mid-Orange, like up until this May, seeing Rich get bit in front of my freaking face, that was kind of like the awakening, like holy crap, that was like my first like really like solid like shit, so I'm like, I've been into it for so long, but I am still really, new to the field. Like I want to see some full body apparitions. I've never seen no full body apparitions. I was coming out of Pennhurst to the Devon building at Pennhurst with Rich and Deidre from Pennhurst at like 3 a.m. that night. And we were walking, and then there's like a wooded area and railings and stuff, and out of the corner of our eye, and like if it was just me there, I would have wrote it off as but the three of us at the same time turn our heads. We saw like a black shadow or something come running out of the woods, grab the railing and kind of like vault over it, and then through the field by the playground. And we were looking around trying to find deer or something because it is by the woods, and we couldn't see anything, so like like I said, if it was just me, I probably wrote it off as like, it's 3 a.m. I'm tired and I just something,
Oh,
but
shit. Yeah.
it caught all three of our attention. So like, that's kind of like the most visual I've had so far.
Well, all right. So my brain runs a little bit faster than I could fucking talk. So remind me like full body apparitions. But I want to go back to when you first coming in as a skeptic. When you first had those experiences at those places, did it change your mind at all? Like as far as like religion wise, and that there is something more. Like, did it made you think?
It is tough being a non-religious paranormal investigator, because you don't know what, like, I don't know if what this is. Are they even ghosts? Are they even spirits of people? Are there demons? If these are demons, is there a God? Is there heaven? Is there hell? Like, or is it just good spirits or bad spirits, or like it does make it tough, because people are like, oh well, if you believe in like evil spirits and this and that, then how do you not believe in religion? And I mean, I believe there's something, and I think that's how I am. There's something, I don't know what it is.
Exactly. And I'm not religious either. I actually turned. All right. So weirdly enough, I'll explain this. So I'm wearing a cross right now. I grew up Catholic, but I've actually turned myself away from religion. I'm wearing this right now because I'm being taught something. I'm being taught exorcisms and stuff like that. And what makes, the client happy and, learning as I go. So like I have to relearn religion again.
Yeah.
I know witchcraft. I know Satanism. I know, all of the above. But however, though, I've always stayed gray. And I know this probably doesn't make any sense, but like when I go into these investigations, as you said, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like what is what? I mean, this is possibly why we do this, to get that answer, right? Like it's crazy to me. But I never knock a religion. Like if someone is something, like I don't care what you are.
No.
Like I don't judge anyone. I don't try to like bring you to a religion. Like you are who you are. I have to learn what I do for the craft that I'm working.
Yep.
And that's all it is.
I was out in Connecticut hanging out with my friend Eric in Nesper, and Dan Rivera, one of the lead investigators from Nesper, came, and we were all hanging out by the fire pit. And Dan goes to Eric, oh, so are you coming to that exorcism next week? And I'm like, and they're just sitting there talking about their next exorcism, like they're having a cup of coffee and normal stuff. And I was just like, and they do these exorcisms with one of the churches nearby, and it's like such a normal thing for them. So it was really interesting hearing about some of their stories about that stuff, and like how it's not. I mean, some people may be doubtful, but most people know that, the paranormal experiences, possessions, this and that, they're not like it is on TV. You know what I mean? Like it's not, they over dramatize everything, so they were telling me like kind of like what happens and this and that. And it was really, really interesting, and they're like all super religious, and that's totally cool. And I don't knock them at all. But it was like really cool getting to hear this stuff from them, because I went and visited Ed and Lorraine Warren's grave with Eric and his fiance, and right after we got there, Tony Spira and their daughter showed up to pay their respects also. So it was really cool getting to meet them and hang out over by their grave. And Pay respects.
Of course, yeah, they're like they are the main when
Yeah,
you really think about it.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, there's got to be something going on. There's got to be something to it,
Well, I've done 2 exorcisms in the gray area. And I don't talk about it because it's respect for the people that I did it for, but I'll tell you it's not like what you say on TV. It's completely draining. And I don't know, it's just weird and it makes your it almost like restructures your brain in a
Yeah,
way that's like, holy shit, did that really just happen? And you go back like a couple weeks later, you keep checking on the people and they're fine now. And I'm
yeah,
like, did I just put this in your head that you believe it?
yeah,
Or did something really happen here? Like, I don't
yeah.
have the proof
I
because
mean,
I didn't record any of it.
personally, I don't want to fuck with no demons. Like, I'm not like, listen, we go to enough places that we are bound to run into something like that eventually, but I ain't looking for them.
Yeah.
Like I'm really not looking to go to any exorcisms. Like,
When I see you in person and have a beer with you or whatever we do, I'll tell you the story in person. It just respect, and you're gonna be like, I actually want your opinion on it.
yeah.
Just to see what you want to think about it. All right, so going back to equipment with full body apparitions, I actually when I use a lot when I say I go back to basics, I use a scry mirror
Okay.
often. This is something that I've used in these 2 locations, plus on every investigation I go into. However, though, it's something that I cannot record. I never catch it on camera.
Mhm.
So I can't prove it, but when I'm sitting there with the person and we're sitting there in front of it meditating, they actually see what's in the house because we sit there long enough and then it's there. Have you ever tried the scry?
Actually, I don't know if you've ever been to the Shanley Hotel out in Napanoch, New York. Uh,
I haven't been up north in a long time.
yeah, so I've been there a few times already. I think we're going back in January, but they actually have a little scrying room with the mirror and like it's all dark and they have these little candles in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some people just get the heebie-jeebies and don't like going in there, but I enjoy. I think they take some pretty cool pictures in there.
So you've tried it then? You've tried the scry?
So yeah, so I would sit there and honestly, like the claims there at least is that sometimes you'll see someone else's face. And the most I got off of it though was, when like I was standing there looking at myself in the mirror, and you get this feeling that if you go to turn your head, that's not
the moment you miss it.
gonna turn with it. Like that's
Yeah.
gonna stay.
Or-
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you get like this weird like feeling that like that that's not you looking back at you. But I haven't really had any other type of experience in it, but I always enjoy going in that room and trying it out.
It's powerful. I mean, I don't know. I don't know really what it is about it that I love, but I love sitting in a dark room with that dark mirror and just seeing something of the black shadow. That's
Mhm.
I don't know if when you guys do investigations, but I could picture it right now. Like, okay, so you're in a really dark room, but this thing is darker than the dark, but you could still see it. Does that make sense
Yes.
to any investigator that's in here? I mean, I can't explain it any other way than that. It's
Mhm.
like a stealth bomber in the night.
Yeah. I know that you're interviewing me, but I like to bring up this taboo topic. How do you feel about Ouija boards?
I build them.
What?
I build them
Oh yeah?
and I use them.
So I won't use them, but I think they are absolutely aesthetically amazing. Like I have
Mhm.
my little planchette on my arm.
I have a Ouija board on my arm too. Look,
Look at
twins.
that. But I don't know. I've been taught too many times over the years is how you get demons.
Well, a lot of people. I get in arguments with people all the time about this shit. So I believe in the Ouija board, right?
Mhm.
But
I
people
believe
say,
in it. Definitely believe in it.
but then people say it's a fucking like Toys R Us toy. You could build a Ouija board with a piece of chalk in a driveway. It's what you manifest within that board.
I mean, the paranormal is so much to do with intent.
Right. So I believe in it. I've used it many occasions. But here's the problem. It goes back to trust with the other person. I've used it by myself. I've had the thing count down from the numbers. Apparently a demon's coming in when it counts down from numbers. I could be wrong, but that's what I was told. You can't ask a question like, hey, grandma, is this you? You have to ask a question where it's like, hey, in this certain situation, like, what was I doing? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say, hey, is this mom? Is this dad? Because it may be yes, no.
Have you ever had anything try to disguise itself as something else?
I don't want to seem crazy, but yes.
My hair is very, you don't seem crazy at all. I hear that's very, very, very common where, you know, they tell you that they're this little boy and this and that, and they are not this little boy. So.
Matter of fact, one of the houses I'm working in right now, like it was something like 6 years ago. I had witches come in this house. They won't come back in. We did an EVP there. They tell me it's like kind of portal ridden. I've had little kids talking on there, and there's never been a little kid in the house, anything like that. But something in there was mocking something and trying to come through.
Okay.
So it's not good. So I totally get what you're getting at there. But as far as the Ouija boards go, I absolutely use them as a tool.
Yeah.
But I have to trust somebody to do it, you know, with me. I mean, you can't be inebriated. They can't have like any kind of drink in you because, you know, that already debunks it. You know, I don't know. Just that's my personal feelings.
Yeah, no, I absolutely think that like I was eyeing down like a bunch of really cool ones on Etsy, just like because I think they're just really cool looking. Like especially like all the wood engraved ones and stuff like that.
If I could see mine, if I could see mine where it is, I can't see right now in the room. It's so dark. I would love to show you, but I'll send you a picture later. What I do is I build it. I have a purple one right now, and I'm building one for my good buddy Chaos. But I have 3 candles where you can put candles in it, and then I have an attachment where you can actually scry with it too if you want. It's just something different.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up.
Well, I like to get other people's opinions because most of the places that we, you know, I don't mess with them. Like I probably feel a little more comfortable doing it with someone that knows what they're doing with them because I feel like that lies the problem of where most people have problems with it. But you know, most of the locations that we go to, they're like, no Ouija boards, you know.
I think making it making it like a toy, I think people fucked up because they want to go and do like a spirit world and they want to play it as a game, and they brought shit in their life that, you know, it shouldn't be there because they thought it was a joke when it's not a joke.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, you know, like I have no experience. Yep. I agree with you completely. Like
my friend, you know what? Maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm safe enough to, you know, not be stupid with it either. So I get it. But
I mean, you hear, you know, I've read so many of the books, like the Warrens did and everything. And, you know,
Bill, Christina, right there is Bill. I need you to get a hold of him. He's the one that goes in and when he does an investigation, he will research the people first. This is a solid investigation team right here. I will get you guys in contact with Bill. He is an amazing, amazing person, him and his team. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. And you know, I heard or I hear, or who knows if anything of this, it's such a subjective topic that, you know, you don't know. These are all just speculations. But you know, with as far as demons go, you need to invite them in somehow. And that's how people, it gets a little dicey with the Ouija boards because you're kind of technically maybe inviting them in without knowing you're inviting them in. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I kind of don't. But you know, a lot of our team, we don't mess with Ouija boards.
No, that's totally fine. I'm glad you asked too. Like actually, Bill on his interview with me, he actually asked me how I felt about mediums. So I answered him in a way where it's like, I do believe in them. We use them as tools for sure, but then you've got to trust in them too, like you trust in the Ouija board. I mean, I've met so many mediums that are just full of shit. that are just looking to call themselves a friggin'
Mhm.
psychic, you
Mhm.
know. And I put you right to the test right from the start. I mean, you got to be on point to be like with me. And I'm not even fucking something big, but I need to validate what I'm doing, you
Yes.
know.
No, absolutely. And like I said, like I most definitely don't think that anyone on my team is full of shit. But
Hmm.
I actually had my one of my team members, Sarah Lee, she's like an empath. And I totally always believe that she's an empath, but you know, it's hearsay, whatever they experience at the investigations, because I don't know. I don't experience it. I don't have those capabilities. And maybe like a month and a half ago, I was sitting on the couch having a really hard time, like having like an anxiety attack and a half because I had some
Hmm.
personal shit happen.
Sure.
And she had no idea about this. I hadn't posted anything about it on social media or anything. And she texted me and she goes, "Hey, sister, are you okay?" And I'm like, she's like, "I'm getting," she said, "my spidey senses are tingling and I was just making sure you're okay." And I'm like, well, shit.
I
I
know.
was like, how the fuck did you know?
I
Like,
know.
it was just like totally spot on. She's like,
My
I know.
friend, I gotta, man, you are making me excited to and like just show you to people. Psychic Cindy, she'll do the same shit to me. Her spidey senses or whatever. And then my friend Willow Garnett, you know, she's on one of the other networks. I mean, they'll call me and be like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like, no, you're not. All right, cool. I got an anxiety attack, and they're like, "We know. We're part of you, dude."
Yeah. Yeah, it's really crazy. And I'm really fortunate to work with the people that I do. I know I've said it 80 million times, but I absolutely love everyone on my team. And,
You, you could say it another 8 million more times because you know what, you mean it. And
yeah,
that's what builds a family right there. If you question anybody, then it's fucking not true, you
yep,
know?
yep.
So I'm telling you, I've been trying to build a team. You have been on my mind. I want Kenny Biddle in there. I want Taryn Kerper in there. I want Genevieve. You know, I want this solid team like Bill, um, Holly Enk. You know, there's these people that just they put their heart and soul into what they do. All of them have different roles as you guys do. So I hope that I build an entire fucking team before I die. You know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. It's another great thing. I've met so many awesome people um along the way, and I can't believe, like, I mean, I haven't been doing this so long, and we they put me in charge of the social media for
April
IPR.
for sure. My mom says April, but she's a psychic. I'll get you
Yeah,
in touch with her too.
yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
You know who she is. She's in
Yeah,
Jersey.
she was just at the Red Mill visiting on Saturday.
She is.
She's she does
She's
stuff with
scary on
paranormal
point.
things.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
scary on point.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah. No, I was with her on Saturday night. Um, we I totally lost my train of thought.
I did too. What the hell? We were talking about team. Guys,
uh,
help us out if you're listening. What were the
what
hell
were
were we
we
talking about?
talking about?
I don't know, man. What's your favorite color? I already know. Purple. I'm psychic.
um, so oh look, I got my little Halloween nails going on because I'm having Halloween withdrawals. Um,
I know.
so yeah, so let's talk about something else until I remember what we
All
were
right.
talking.
Well, so investigations. So in the near future, what does it hold for interstate paranormal? Like, what's next?
So our next, like I said, our next event is on the 24th
Mm-hmm.
at Fort Mifflin. We're hosting that public event. August 7th, we're doing the Essex Fire Museum out in Maryland. Um, September, I'm like, I should
Check
probably.
that out, Christina. At the bottom, Dom. I added a new team member, Tim Yancey. He worked with the Warrens. See,
Oh, cool.
this Bill does his research, man. He don't mess around.
September, I feel like we have September 4th, we have our private investigation at Fort Mifflin. We're all going to the New Jersey Paracon on the 25th of September. October, I'm kind of proud because I booked this one for a
Right.
few of us. Um October 2nd, we are doing our own private investigation at the Conjuring House.
Nice. Holy shit.
Yeah, so we will be going live for Paranormal Warehouse that night. Also, most of our investigations we've been doing lives for them.
Cool.
Yeah, and October 29th or 30th, I believe. I actually sometime the weekend before that, I think they're doing an overnight investigation, like camping overnight at the fort they asked us to host. But yeah, October Halloween weekend, we're going to be at a few of us because a lot of people can't make it because they have children and stuff like that. But we're going to be at the old Licking County Jail out in Ohio.
Christina's just saying that right there, and Michelle's saying Gettysburg, which
Michelle!
I'll be there.
These are my two bitches.
I love it. What's happening? I'll be at the bash too, so we all get together and
I'll be
say hello.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Slevin, very nice. That's very cool, man. Yep. See, this is like a networking community. I mean, I think Taryn actually put it on her Facebook one day. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was like, I got more friends from like dealing with ghosts than I do in real life. It was kind of funny the way she said it. I wish I could find that post. But what did she say? Looking forward. Absolutely, Christina, for sure. Just meeting good people. My favorites. There we are. Very cool.
Oh, I love those two. Those are my favorite.
Orphanage. Oh, hell yeah.
She's trying to get us so Michelle and her husband have a camper out in Gettysburg, so they go there all the time. They know a lot of people out there, like Pam and everyone that run the bash. So they're trying to lock down at least a little mini investigation for us when we're there that weekend.
Nice.
If not, whatever, like we all have like a blast anyways. It's always nice getting a chance to hang out with each other without like, all right guys, we gotta go, we gotta do this, we gotta set up, like, so it's great having some time to just enjoy each other's company. We were just at back in June, we did a back-to-back weekend. We were out in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, at this location called Wellington Heights.
Mm-hmm.
That we did that Friday. That was like 5-hour drive for me and Rich, because Rich is actually the only person on my team that lives near me. The rest of like Christina's down in like Glassboro area, like South Jersey. Michelle's out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, sure.
So unfortunately, we're all like, we wish you lived closer.
I know, man.
So me and Rich usually just ride together to events. But we were out so we were the second team ever to be at Wellington Heights to investigate. It was an old nursing home. And before that, it was a hospital for the miners, like the coal miners. The place was disgusting. Needless to say, like it was like soggy black mold. Like they were just getting ready to start like demolishing and redoing everything. Like they hadn't even like begun cleanup really. You know what I mean?
I saw that when she put that on there, the sky hamsters.
Did you see that? Did you watch that live?
No, I didn't, but I saw that picture you posted. When you said sky hamsters, I had to show my friend next to me, like, look at this shit. That's why I'm laughing right there.
Well, I call like the flying foxes sky puppies, but these were like little brown bats, so they're sky hamsters. There were lots of little baddies in the building, and we were doing one of our lives for Paranormal Warehouse, and it turned into like Paranormal meets National Geographic. Because everyone's like, oh my God, there's a bat. And I'm like, oh, look at the little sky hamster. And everyone's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I'm vaccinated for rabies. I don't care. I was a vet tech for 15 years, so I had to be vaccinated.
Nice.
But we were in the middle of doing our live. If you go on to the Interstate Paranormal group, like I have it pinned as like one of the pin posts, but there's a Wellington Heights live around 40 minutes in. We come to like this, and on the second floor at Wellington, there's like a hallway, like a cross hallway, and we needed to cross the hallway, and we're walking out towards it, and all of a sudden you see,
what?
And there's a bat flying back and forth and
That's
back
awesome.
and forth, and we're like, shit, we need to cross this hallway. So we all like single filed, and like the bat would pass and one of us would run, and then the bat would pass again and one of us would run, and
It's a fucking video game.
it was the funniest. We were fucking dying. One of the girls, Sarah, we call her Sarah OG because we got two Sarahs in the group, and she was the first Sarah. She almost got whacked in the face by it. She like ninja dodged it. It was the funniest freaking live that we did. That was a lot of fun. It was pretty damn funny.
I have to check it out for sure. Send that shit to me if I can't find it, just in case.
Yeah, or I'll tag you in it.
I'm kind of a dum-dum when it comes to like finding shit.
No, I get it. Things get piled up and lost and whatever. I'll tag you on the photo. I mean, on the video. And then
I'll share it out to everyone too, so they can watch it too.
Yeah.
So cool.
And then that was only 20 minutes away. On Saturday night, we went to the Clarion for the second time out in Du Bois. So after that Friday night, or technically Saturday morning, we went to the Clarion, and like they didn't charge us. We stayed there Friday night and Saturday night. And they didn't charge us anything because they wanted us there to investigate the Clarion. When we were back there in January, I unfortunately spent most of the night in the Africa room, which is what I called it because it was like 90 degrees. And we had the DVR system in there, and I was fucking freezing. I don't know why they didn't have the heat on in the hallways. Like I was like, oh, we're going to a hotel, whatever. They didn't have the heat on in the hallways or anything. So I had a winter jacket on, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and was so freaking cold. So unfortunately I missed this firsthand, but they were in the one like kitchen area. And it was actually, we got it on recording. They came running in immediately and we all listened to it. But it actually was it was a disembodied voice because everyone heard it with their ears. But they're doing their little session and asking questions, this and that. And all of a sudden you hear, "Mommy."
What?
Clear as day. And which is weird. It was like in a kitchen. There's no like stories about any children there or anything like that. But you just hear, "Mommy."
Wow.
Yeah, so we went back, we checked out, but we didn't get anything like that when we went in June. But the place is cool. That place kind of, everyone had stuff going on in their life when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it played on that. Like I was like a sack of shit all night. Like I was pretty much useless. Like I was super depressed. One of the other girls was really like out of it.
This is when we first started talking, right? Like as far as like getting shit lined up, I think.
Yeah, in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the weekend. That was the weekend before.
You.
Yeah, that was the weekend we were supposed. Yeah, so when we first went there, we were all whacked out for like a week after in January, and this time around, like it hit us when we were there. Like there is like, I don't necessarily know that there's like anything evil or anything going on there, but it's very oppressive to me. I don't really I don't really enjoy staying there. And it like the funk hit you while you were still there this time.
Yeah, but Christina, you're probably right too. At the same time, if you go in there with a funk, like it probably feeds off all that shit, no matter what's there, because you have to go in there strong. If you're already fucking like not like, you're a strong woman, I know that. Like when I talk to you, like you're very confident in what you do. So you could walk into the most haunted fucking place and be okay. But like, if you have a second of doubt, like in your head, like it'll feed off you. Like it just fucking, it'll drain you. It'll drain the strongest person.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel, even being in the mental mind state that I was in that night, I definitely didn't feel like threatened or anything. Yeah. But it just like really weighed down on me,
Yeah. Now, looking back on that, do you think you made a mistake by going in there with that mindset?
No, not at all. I mean, listen, knock on wood,
Sure,
somewhere.
whatever it may be.
I've never had anything follow me home yet. I've
Right.
never had any type of situation that I've ever felt threatened or anything like that. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm stubborn or what. But when people are like, "Don't go over there. There's something bad." I'm like, "Oh, let me
You're
go over there."
you're going over. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just kind of like how I am, and I haven't really had a problem with it. Um, I mean, yeah, I had shit going on, but I'm pretty, strong. Like you said, I'm pretty strong willed, and I haven't really had anything
Mhm.
do any major damage. So,
And that's true right there. Same here, 30 years plus.
yeah.
Now, before you guys go into it, all right, say you got the most fucked up place that you're about to go to, right? You guys do any kind of protection things for yourself, like any kind of protection spells or like
Um,
anything?
I don't.
I don't either.
I can't speak for the rest of my team. I have Sarah Lee, we call her the Sage Fairy, that she likes to sage us all afterwards,
Mhm.
investigations, which I feel like can't hurt. Um,
Right.
but I don't know, I'm like, I kind of like when I leave locations, I'll get in the car or whatever, and I'll be like, listen, thank you for interacting with us, but you cannot follow me home.
I mean, that's your own protection on its own right there. I mean,
Yeah,
you interacted with whatever may have been there. I mean, a
yes.
lot believe in that. Well,
Yeah,
shit.
like the whole intent thing,
Mhm.
And I haven't had any problems yet. But like
Knock
I
on
said, like
wood.
I'm not a religious person, so like I mean anything extra can't hurt. Like I don't know if sage helps really or not, but I'm more than happy to have Sarah Lee sage me.
I
you
was
know.
going to bring this up, and actually, somebody in the chat said bring this up. The problem is when you are sleeping. Now, all right, so I want to bring that up real quick. All right,
Mhm.
sleep paralysis, the dreams and shit like
Mhm.
that. Pedro, I'm not sure where you're getting at with that, but put in here when you're sleeping. When they attack you in your sleep, I don't know if you have any of these problems with that. I do. I personally have the sleep paralysis, and I don't think it's a medical problem. I think it's the field I'm in, and I fucking truly believe this.
Um, I've never had any sleep paralysis. Um, the only thing that as far as dreams go is usually a week to a few days before an investigation, I'll have some type of weird dream. Not necessarily a nightmare. Like for example, we were getting ready to go to Wellington, and it was a few days beforehand.
Yeah. All right.
Understood, May. Um, so we were, yeah, it was a few days before Wellington, and I had this weird nightmare. So, there is a spirit they call Skippy in Penhurst
Mm-hmm.
that has supposedly to my psychic friends in the group, challenged them and given them some grief while they
Right.
while they were there. But I had this dream that we were in some type of hospitally. It was like some type of location. It had a lot of debris on the ground, kind of like Penhurst with like the rubble and stuff like that. Um, and I remember we were in the dream, we were getting ready to do Facebook Live for Paranormal Warehouse. We're getting the equipment ready and this and that. And we walked into one of the main rooms, and all of a sudden, like something like rushed me. And I remember my friend Tony in the dream like dived in front of me and like grabbed me and like pushed me out of the way into like this like plush recliner kind
Mm-hmm.
of chair, and we fell on the ground. And I remember while I was falling I was saying, "It's Skippy," which is weird because in my dream like we were both confused that I was saying that because we were not at Penhurst, and that is a spirit they believe that is at Penhurst. um
Right.
in my dream I was clearly not at Penhurst. So, I woke up and I texted Tony, and I told him about this, and he sends me a bunch of pictures of Wellington. And it was an old nursing home. So there's like plush recliner chairs everywhere. And the place, like I said, there's shit all over the floors because it's like all like being like taken apart and this and that and whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's kind of interesting. Like I don't know what it means, but like I tend to always like if I had to say I'm ever sensitive about anything, it would be dreams. Like as a teenager, as when I was younger, I would have like I'm a very big car person. I've always had muscle cars. I've always like been very attached to my vehicles. And when I was younger, I had a nightmare that someone hit my car, and a week later, someone hit my car. Like I've had like weird shit like that.
That's premonition, but at the same time, when you go back to, how you said your father was sensitive, maybe it didn't skip you. Maybe like you're seeing it in a different route here.
Yeah. I mean, I had a friend of mine, I hadn't seen in like a few years. He had moved to California, Florida, and was like in the army and stuff like that. And I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I had some weird dream that like, I mean, he wasn't a tattoo artist, but for some reason I was at a tattoo shop insisting that he was the one that would tattoo me, this and that and whatever. And then I found out the next day he killed himself.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like, that was really weird because it wasn't someone like I've talked to anytime in recently, in years. So like, I have weird shit happen to me like that, but that's really it as far as dreams go. If I'm going through some crazy life crisis, I will have nightmares about it. But nothing.
Life crisis. I just get fucking anxiety and depression. I don't even have night. Oh, I guess I do get the nightmares too. Now that I think about it, you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, you all have. I think we've all had, or at least, I mean, even in the past, like those dreams of freaking out because your significant other's with someone else in the dream, and you wake up all fucking upset and distraught about it. Stupid shit like that. Like any type of life. Or you had a bad day at work and you're.
I know. Now, Pedro's on point with the sleep thing, like the hag situation. You're familiar with that, right?
A little bit, not very.
Yeah, it's an attack in the sleep.
Okay.
I look into it. I'm not going to bring too much because I don't know Pedro. And I don't want to bring anything up, but like, yeah, dude, I get it. It, brother. Yeah. Premonition I've always had about death. I have had too. Like, I'm not gonna, fuck it. I'll bring shit up. I've hugged people, multiple times, before I leave a place, and in my brain says this is the last time you'll see them, and it was. My friend Angel. Shit, I shouldn't have said her name. I hugged her one time, and she's gone. Then out west, I hugged somebody, and I knew it was the last time. And it was
well, I'm not hugging you when I see you.
No, fuck it.
I'm just joking.
Just shake hands. How are you? It's kind of weird though. Like it made me think. All right. Yeah. I think you've got another question here. What kind of muscle cars did Christina have? I had some in the past and now drive a 2006 Dodge Magnum SRT. I have no idea about cars, but you guys let's talk about that.
My first car when I was 17 was a 99 Firebird. I had a few. I had a 2012 and a 2013 Camaro after that, and then I had a 2016 Camaro SS after that I used to drag race at Raceway Park and Island Dragway for fun on the weekends. And
for fun on weekends. Oh, look at this shit.
I have a problem. You would think if I was a man, I'd have I'm like, I need the V8, but I currently have a 2018 plum crazy purple Dodge Charger Scat Pack. So that's like 485 horsepower. I do not drag race my Scat Pack because, my Camaro kind of was like a refined sports car. It like stayed planted to the ground and kind of drove itself. It was very controllable, and like the Mopars are like big sloppy beasts. So when you step on the gas, like the ass end is like, So I just, I always daily drive all my cars. I have snow tires like an idiot because I can't afford two vehicles. But yes, I am super into muscle cars, and I mean, I like, you know, European cars. Also, I'm just like a car person.
My
So
dream is a Porsche.
you like Porsches? I'm weird about Porsches. I like the Jaguar F Type. My unicorn is like millions of dollars. I like the Bugattis.
Oh,
The
you
Bugatti
should.
Veyron and the Chiron, the Cairo River, and like all those things.
Yeah, we
Oh
did.
yeah,
Yeah, growing up in Jersey, they had the Barracuda, which is we had it until recently.
that's
Stupid
awesome.
family messed up.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So,
we're not gonna get there, Uncle
but
Chris.
so muscle cars and stuff like that was my other love.
I was drag racing back in the early '70s. Hey man,
Nice. It's
I don't
fun. My
I don't
adult
I don't do
helmet.
cars.
You don't like cars?
I don't give two shits about them, to be honest with you.
Listen, not you're lucky because I spend a lot of fucking money on my car. Like you're better
Yeah,
off,
I
you know.
no, I like ghosts, good beer, good movies, and good friends. I could give two shits about a vehicle, even though I do want a black Porsche one day. I'll
Well,
get
you
it.
know what it is? It's nice because instead of driving to work every morning like I'm like vroom, 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 so like it makes the most mundane tasks of going food shopping and driving to
Oh,
work fun. I
if
get
it
pulled
makes
over
you happy,
all
that's
the time because my car's purple. But
if it
thank
makes you
God my
happy, that's
car.
all that counts. Oh, and by the way, your favorite color is purple. I just kind of figured that shit out. The purple
Yeah,
car, that's
yeah.
awesome. Well, if it makes you
So
happy, that's cool.
oh yeah, no, it's the simple things in life, I guess.
Well, I mean, a fucking muscle car, yeah, it's pretty simple, I guess. Teach me your ways, man. Christ. All right, so we're at the 11:30 marker. I'm probably going to play a commercial in a few minutes. I don't want to take up your time all night. You have been one amazing friend and guest tonight. Now I'm claiming you as a friend forever. I don't give a shit what you got to say about it. Um,
I'm gonna keep you.
I know, like Casper, can I keep you? Um, no, I just want to thank you for everything that you do and what your team is a part. Um, I don't want to say like I research a lot of people and I have to make sure that they are on point with what they do, and you have been on point. We've been talking for a few months, so everyone go check out Interstate Paranormal Research. Check out Christina Westervelt. Did I say that right? Westervelt. I'm
Westervelt,
not
yeah.
like I'm not like butchering that.
No.
She is one amazing lady. Um, cool as shit, by the way. You
Thanks.
have your show that you guys do. Talk about it. You guys go live here and there so people can find you.
Yep. Oh yeah, so we do go live on our in the Interstate Paranormal Research Facebook page, but also if you go on down to the Paranormal Warehouse Facebook page, recently there's been some issues with Facebook, so we've been actually going live on their YouTube page. But I always, after we're done, I always share it on our page. But shout out to our friends Daryl Marston and Mike Diamond on Paranormal Warehouse for taking us under their wing and like really helping us out with this stuff. It's always a pleasure working with them. I was out at the Red Mill in Clinton, New Jersey on Saturday night helping Daryl film some stuff while him and Mustafa did their public event, which was a lot of fun
Cool.
on Saturday. So always keep an eye out for us and for all of their cool content on the Paranormal Warehouse webpage.
I love it. See, and there you have, like I said, you have a new friend. Christina has been an amazing guest. Thanks for being here.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you for
you.
being here, and keep checking us out, and definitely go like, share, and follow her and her team. Everyone check out Real Talk with Dom too. Share out WLFEDB for sure. This is a great crew, a lot of great shows, a lot of content. Christina, stay with me for a moment. I'm gonna bring us out. If you have anything you want to say to everyone before we head out, the floor is yours at the moment.
Oh, now?
Right now.
Okay. If you are just tuning in, if you head on over to the Fort Mifflin webpage, July 24th, IPR is hosting a public event. So if you want to come down and investigate with us over there, definitely pick up a ticket. They're super reasonably priced. I think they're like $50. Some places charge like $200 for these things. So I feel like that's pretty good. Shout out to everyone at Fort Mifflin. They gave us tickets to give away for all our contests. All our friends over at Selma Mansion in Pennsylvania. We've made a lot of good friends with a lot of
D.
people.
Patrick and all them. Selma Mansion, we had them on one of our shows. Holy shit.
Well, Bill Freeman usually.
Bill Freeman, Bill, yeah.
Yes, yep. So Bill, we love Bill. We deal with them and everyone, Jim and everyone at Pennhurst that we work with a lot. Pennhurst has turned into like one of our second homes. Them and Selma and the Fort, we spend a lot of time at all those locations. Like I said, shout out to Paranormal Warehouse. Keep an eye on our Facebook group page. Like I said, we love having people involved. We do a lot of giveaways for people to come and investigate with us, which, it's hard if you don't have a team to do anything other than public investigations, because it's not cheap. A lot of these places, Pennhurst, it was like $1,000 a night for the team.
Right.
And plus after a certain amount of people, it was, whatever. So we try to give people the opportunity to come out with us and see what it's like to investigate with a professional team and not the chaos of a bunch of public people running around like crazy. And our webpage is interstateparanormal.org. Definitely check that out. Facebook group page. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. I don't do the Twitter a lot, but I do run the Instagram too. So I try to log on over there.
Direct message all that shit to me too, because I'll put it right on Real Talk with Dom so people could find it easier too. Like if they don't go back and watch, I'll just put it right on the page.
Yeah, and I'm over, my personal page is over on Instagram too. It's at Wicked Chick, WIKIDCHIK. And I think that's it. Shout out to all my Interstate Paranormal Research family. I hope you got a chance to watch, and we would definitely, probably want to come and all hang out with you.
Absolutely. I want to say to everyone, check. I have Real Talk with Dom on Monday nights. Also Monday nights beforehand, we got the Grave _guys on TikTok. Check us out. We're watching graves for the veterans and stuff like that. We do that because we love it. Thursday night, BB3 TV. You can check me out for the Back from the Dead, near death experiences, and more. We got Dom and Tom's World coming back, and just so much material. I mean, just check everybody out. This is what counts. And I personally, from my heart, everybody here that's been watching and sharing and liking, I want to say thank you, because this is why we do what we do, because it's all about you guys. And I hope I did everyone justice here tonight by representing Christina. She is one amazing woman. And thank you for being on Real Talk with Dom.
Well, thank you. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. You stay in the room with me, okay? We're gonna talk a little bit after chat. So I'm gonna bring us both down. I'm gonna play the last commercials, and we're gonna call it a night. Real Talk with Dom, guys. Thank you.
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels: Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows, LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows, Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows. You can find our shows where you listen to your favorite podcasts, like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. WLFE-DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com.
Wow, Amazon Music just got a whole lot better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found there. Yes, we are on Amazon Music, found under podcasts. Download the app, find podcasts, and search all of your favorite shows. Shows like Where's My Sage? Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and much more. Now you don't have to miss an episode ever. Amazon Music is WLFE-DB Radiofied.
More from WLFE-DB Radio Network after this.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Thank you for joining Real Talk with Dom. You can catch us every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to follow, like, and share on Facebook. Like and follow us on Facebook at WLFE-DB Radio.